You're welcome to the No Stand Zone podcast. My name is Tiae, and it's always a pleasure to have you here. Happy new month to you. April the 7th, 7 days already gone in the new month. I mean, I'm so grateful for every single one of you here. That this podcast even exists. I feel it's a blessing. So thank you also for spending the time with me. It has a big, and I was thinking about something this past week. It just hit me that we'll get into the fourth month, right? And I don't know if it's maybe getting older or something. I haven't actually thought about this throughout the whole year. It's like the moment 2025 started, it was just go, 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 like hustle and bustle kind of things. And I don't even think about, oh, it's the first of the month or it's a new month. And I haven't even done that throughout this year up until this month, where I was like, wait, it's April, like 3 months gone, cannot get it back, right? And it just, and all the things that I thought I thought I would be doing, like maybe exercising more and things like that, not necessarily New Year resolutions, because I know a couple of you are looking at me and giving me the side eye. I don't do any of that. I stopped that a really, really long time ago, because I just know personally for me, it doesn't help. I know it works for some people. They're able to achieve all their goals, and congratulations to you. But for me, I just find out it doesn't help. And I just take things one thing at a time, right? And the one thing that I actually picked to do, it's personal. I'm actually going through it right now. I'm actually doing it right now. So for some, like to some extent, I'm like, yes, satisfied, and I'm like, okay, I'm getting ahead some of the things I've put down. At the same time, it's like I could be doing so much more. It's like the back and forth of that kind of thing. And it also, I was speaking with someone about this, about, we're just talking this week about this, and it's like the little things that used to matter don't really hold so much importance anymore, because like me wanting to exercise, for example, that was what we're talking about. And I remember a time where I have to do it at least once a week. It was my way of just letting out stress and things like that. I had to. It was because since I was like maybe 5 years old, I've been really active up until a couple of years ago. For health reasons, I just couldn't be as active as I used to be anymore. And it has just become like so many other things have become ways for me to de-stress and just chill, calm down. And one of them is actually doing this pod, by the way. And you guys know I don't do this full time. I think about some of the things I want to talk about during the week, and then and then once a week like this, I put them out into the world. And you guys, I feel blessed that you're there to receive all of it. But this podcast, or being able to do this, has become my way of like letting out all the stress off my regular day schedule, or the regular things that I do on a regular basis, outside of just really being active like several times during a week, if possible. And I mean, for some reason, this week was kind of like the first time this year that I actually slowed down to think about, okay, man, 3 months in the year is gone. And it's not like regret per se. It was just acknowledging, right? Just thinking back, what have you done, family, friends, and check on people, like things like that. That was what I was actually reaching out to people this week and trying to not just say hello, but kind of like have like in-depth conversations with a few of them, and be like, okay, I want to know what is going on with you. And it actually went pretty good. I think that and pardon me for a minute, and I know I don't talk about this. You guys know this is not the way I usually start the show, right? But I think this is important, and I just wanted to share this with you, that I think it's important sometimes, if you're always so busy and all those things, either with school, with work, with family, and all of that, it's good to take some time out to just to just kind of take a what's the word I'm looking for? Well, for lack of a better word, let's say just like a record of everything, and just try and figure out where you are, You get what I mean? Figure out what do you need to speed up? Do you need to slow down? Do you need to pay attention to your health? Because that's also what happens. When you slow down, you start paying attention to your health as well. Like, okay, what do I need to do? Do I need to take more multivitamins? Do I need to be more active, take a walk more, drink more water, things like that. So, I mean, it's good. I really do recommend it for you guys. If you haven't taken the time yet because of how busy you are, please do. Honestly, please do take a time this week. If it's a moment to just slow down and just pay attention to yourself, pay attention to your body, especially because the thing is, if we don't feel any pain, sometimes like pain that actually stops you in your tracks, you're just blazing through most of it, and until you slow down, you really realize that, oh wait, there are other things actually wrong. So I mean, there are so many benefits of taking time to, maybe the word I'm looking for is meditate, right? Just not anything spiritual or something out of the ordinary. Just sit down, take deep breath, and just think about what you've achieved so far, and think about the things that you really want to. And it's not a time to feel discouraged, right? It's a time to kind of take inventory and be like, okay, this is probably what I need to do. I still need to do this and this, and it's just 3 months. You've got time. Okay, you've got time. It's taking it one day at a time is the best way. I just needed to share that. I know this is a music pod, but like I told you guys, I haven't had the time to slow down and think about these things up until this past week. Since the beginning of the year, I haven't really taken the time to do that. And since I eventually did decide to share with you that, you probably should think about that time for yourself as well. If you need to reach out to friends, reach out to family, those who you haven't reached out to in a long time, this will be the best time to actually do that. 3 months, it will make for good conversation. Oh, have you been? Make for a good way to check up on each other. Well, that being said, I hope you guys had an incredible week as well, and I hope you're excited about this month. And it looks like so many artists and a lot of things are beginning to kind of speed up now on social media as well. I'm seeing that there are a lot of tweets and activity as regards the albums that have come out, singles that are out, songs that are coming out really soon. A lot of updates on those things were on social media this past week, and it was just interesting to see those things out there. I mean, the social media has been really quiet as regards music and things like that, and on this pod, there's always things to talk about. There are always things that there's not enough time to cover. There are things that I'm thinking about that I feel nobody's paying attention to. So it's never a dull moment here. Although social media has been quiet and the stands don't have any major thing to talk about, that right here, if you're here right now, you are in the right place for the latest updates and thought-provoking conversations as well that we have here. So this week, like I said, very busy when it comes to music. I had enough time to go through a couple of projects that came out this week or last week. Had enough time to go through each and every one of them, and I'll be sharing my thoughts with you. As always, if you have anything else to say, contributions to any of the things I talk about on the show, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. Is on Twitter at Tiae Sound, Tiae Sound on Twitter, as well as No Stand Pod at No Stand Pod on Twitter as well. And if you want to send me something more, I don't know whether to say official. Some people I feel like usually find it better to communicate via email, so I'm not even gonna make fun of anybody who does that. So if you want to reach out to us via email, it's nostandpod@gmail.com, nostandpod@gmail.com. I will respond to every one of your messages and DMs, whatever you send to me. So don't hesitate to also invite family and friends to subscribe also to the pod, so you can get the updates. You can get new episodes as they come automatically via any of your DSPs. Okay, so all that being out of the way, let's get to the fun stuff. Okay, the music I was listening to this week. Let's start with the one that I was most excited about. Let's start with good tidings. Okay, this is a new month. Let's start with joy and happiness and things that make us happy. So let's start with the one that I preferred the most this week, the one that had me smiling ear to ear, and I'm like, hey, I mean, what's in the apple way? What is happening? I mean, we're gradually getting to that point where artists are putting out music back to back. So the very first album that I listened to this week is this one by, would I say it's an album, but is this one by Tay Iwar. It's an EP actually titled Reflection Station. Reflection Station. Oh my goodness. Tay Iwar. This project made me so happy. And if you've been listening to this pod enough, you know I have been talking about the way people describe what Afro R&B is, and who is tagged an R&B singer in this industry. And I've been very critical of the fact that not everybody who slows down their music is actually giving you Afro R&B or giving you any kind of R&B. That you slow down the music doesn't mean you're giving me R&B. It's just like saying, what's his name? Justin Bieber is an R&B singer because he has, because he has several slow songs, right? He's never gonna be on the scale of R&B. He's never gonna be anywhere close to Chris Brown or Coco Jones or those kind of artists, right? I mean, who are just R&B singers who know how to actually sing, and they check more marks, and boxes around the R&B genre than most do. And so that's been sort of my main criticism of this industry, where we just tag anybody because they slow down their music as giving some form of R&B. But right here, Tay Iwar right here, this is what I call Rolls Royce music, premium music, European spec music. This is what I'm talking about right here. I want to listen to this every day of the week. And the music kind of, it cuts through whatever mood I'm in, because I listen to it that much. And when I'm kind of really up there, I'm like, yeah, let me listen to this. And when, maybe I wake up in the morning and I'm still trying to get myself together and trying to get my energy up, tell you what, this album still did it for me. Because, oh my gosh, it's like, he's like the main dish of his music. If you know, how can I describe this for you? So many artists today sound like they're appetizers to their own music. They're appetizers to their own projects, where they're relying heavily on the beats and so many of all the fun stuff that happens on the background to do a lot of the heavy lifting, right? And it is what it is. I'm not even going to dive into that right now. But there are a lot of artists, and I spoke about this maybe 2 weeks ago, that a lot of artists are relying on relying on the beats that producers give to them heavily. They're relying on it more, and it sounds like that disconnection between the music, the beat, and their delivery. Sometimes you can hear it in the music, you can feel it in the music sometimes, right? So they're like appetizers to their own. They are not the main attraction. The artist itself, his or herself, is not the main attraction when you want to listen to them. You're looking for other things to complement them, right? But with Tay Iwar, he is the main dish. It's like he's leading the band. That's how this EP felt to me. It's like Reflection Station felt like he's leading an army. Basically, he's in charge. That was what this album felt like. It felt like he was right there in front of everything, and the beats and the production and everything else was going by his direction. He was the main attraction. He's like the amala to the Bergiri, the main thing, right? You're not just going to take Bergiri and wait to by itself, right? You need the main dish. You need the amala with it. You're not just going to eat vegetable soup on its own, right? You need the pounded yam with it. That's exactly how I felt about this this project. Like, he's the main attraction for me. The songwriting, the way he's able to pass across the message was absolutely brilliant. In fact, I will go ahead and say Reflection Station is one of the best singles that I've heard this year. The single itself is literally one of the best singles that I've heard this year. And if I do a deep dive better into the album, into the EP, I can give you, it's just 5. Maybe one of them is the one that I'm not really feeling. But man, Bad Belly, sign me up. Survival, sign me up. Floating, sign me up. But overall, I'm looking at this, that Reflection Station has to be one of the best singles of this year. It's just absolutely remarkable. And this is not somebody trying to be what he is not, or trying to sound a certain way, or the mixture of the Nigerian element, with the core, the pure R&B was absolutely flawless. I really love this EP. It really, really touched somewhere, deep, within me. But a few months ago, when we're talking about this R&B thing, right? And someone was saying, oh, they were going to use a certain artist as the face of the R&B for their playlist or something like that. The thing is, I'm looking at all the DSP. I actually went to the DSPs, and what I don't see, and in all the what I didn't see is his face on the popular playlist where you think he should be, right? When it comes to like R&B and things like that. With his latest release, I don't see his face on any of those things, on any of them, right? And this is even some of the problems, where those people who are covering the music have no, they're out of their depth when it comes to actually the knowledge about the music, right? You would think that his face will be on every playlist that is important in any way this past week, because of how incredible the project was. But no, it just shows up as a single, he released a single this week, like in the what's it called, New Music Friday playlist. For me, it's so embarrassing that premium music like this doesn't even get to the surface, for any of those DSPs. Well, why am I complaining? That's why podcasts like this exist. That's why I'm here. This is what drives me to bring to the forefront great and incredible music, great and incredible artists who are actually doing the work, most people are not going to be talking about, because it's not getting them to dance, it's not getting them to get on their feet. But there's more to music than that. Way more. I don't want to go into my rant about I just don't want to go there. But this project is absolutely beautiful. I love the work and the effort put into the delivery of this. Reflection Station has to be one of the singles of the year, and it's not even the most listened to songs on the album. I'm just looking at Spotify right here, and I'm like, why though? Why? How do you press play and in the first 10 seconds it's not, you're not just mesmerized by the work, right? Man, bro, you should be proud of the work that you've put into this project. I am so proud of you. I am so proud of the fact that you're Nigerian as well, so I can celebrate you properly. Yes, incredible project here by Tay Iwar. Like I said at the beginning, this is Rolls-Royce music. This is premium music. And I'm glad that he actually put this out. He wasn't waiting for a full project or a full album before he actually does the release. This This will definitely, this is up obviously there. I actually put it down as one of my favorite albums already for the year. Of course, you guys know I put a list as the year goes, as we're going through all of it, so I don't wait until the end of the year and I'm trying to put the list together. I do that as we go on. Like, as I hear a project that really, really does it for me, this is on the side, along with Terry Akbala with Black and White, along with 255 with Odabo, right up there as one of my favorite projects already this year. Before single, one of the best singles this year, Reflection Station, is right up there. Maybe two other singles, maybe one from Terry Akbala. I think I can remember the title of the song. Maybe one track from his from Tiae Akbala's album might be the one competing with Reflection Station right now for one of my favorite singles this year. But for sure, my goodness, incredible work here. Might not get all the accolades and might not be one of those that you that would be broadcast from the mountaintops. But please, guys, this is incredible work by Tay Iwar, one of the most incredible artists we have right now. Incredible artist, incredible songwriter as well. I cannot take that out of his resume. And so let's get to the more mundane stuff. I'm not even gonna pretend right now. So, man, whose album should I start with? Let's start with Ruga's album. He has a new one out titled Blownboy RU, and it's actually a very extensive one here. How many tracks? Actually 13 songs. So it's a full album. Blownboy RU. Now, if you guys have listened to this pod long enough, you know that I have how many times I've spoken about Ruga and how really, really talented he is, and one of the most dynamic artists we have in the industry, especially with a focus on Nigeria right now. One of the most dynamic artists. His ability to make music is second to none. His ability to tell tell stories in unique ways, second to none in the industry. Very few, I cannot even count on one hand, people that are better at that, at telling stories and telling it in really unique ways than Ruga. There are not so many out there in the industry today. He's that talented of an artist, and I know he's not up there as one of the ones that we put out as the big artist and all of that. But just talking about the most talented artist on the country, Ruga is definitely up there. He is in fact, I will go ahead to say he's a once in a generation artist. That's how special I think Ruga is. He's a once in a generation. They don't come very often like him. Right? And I'm talking about he's in the same league. I will put him in the same league as artists like Davido, as artists like Wiz. Like, I honestly believe that he is that talented of an artist, and he's not been in the industry for the longest time. Like, he's not been here 15 years. It's not even been here for a decade yet, right? I mean, a few years ago was when we're talking about his EP. Maybe it's just been here it's not been here for up to that yet. So, but I think at the end of when everything is said and done about him, he would be one of the most special artists that we've ever had in the industry. I think that highly of Ruga. And I know so many people would not be on the same page with me and be wondering, like, that probably is too far. But yeah, that's how much I actually regard him. His talent and everything he's been able to do so far, his consistency, like, it looks easy for him, but I know it takes a lot of work as well. But with him, it almost looks pretty easy, right? If you And it might be easy to kind of disregard the work that he does because it looks easy, like the way his delivery, sometimes it looks like he's freestyling, and but no, that's not what it is. A lot of work. You cannot freestyle on how many singles that he has put out in the past, right? I mean, 2 years ago he had he released a project, right? So talking about this new release, Blownboy RU. And let me also say this real quick. And because of everything I've said about him, and how ridiculously special I think he is, there are not so many artists that you can compare him to when it comes to when you're trying to evaluate his music, right? There are not too many, because there's just one of him in the industry. He does like dancehall-ish with the Afro beats and all of that mixed together. There isn't anyone close to the talent and consistency on just around that genre and what he does. Nobody else is close to him. And he's been able to just mesmerize us with his consistency over time as well. And so with all of that brilliance, there are not so many artists that you can compare him to. Basically, you can only compare Ruga to Ruga at this point. I'm telling you personally how I feel about him. You can only compare Ruga to Ruga. How good how good is he now compared to what we've heard of him before in the past couple of years? I mean, that's I think the only way to actually look at this, look at him and this project overall. And so with that being said, I listened to this project, and for me, I just kept, something was missing for me. I could not place my fingers on it. And I was like, what is missing here? I wasn't feeling it like I think I would feel I think I would feel his project, right? And I could not really place my hands on it. So what I decided to do is listen to the previous project. Like I said, you can only compare Ruga to Ruga. Not so many people to compare him to, or nobody people that does the same thing he does, or even as talented as he is, that you can compare him to. So I decided to do that. Go back to the past album and kind of refresh my memory. And I remember how I felt about the release of his album Root to the World that he released like a year ago now. And it's not even 2 years ago, 2023, over a year ago now. And I remember how I felt. And the thing is, I was like, wait, let me go back to this album to just refresh my memory, because I knew at the time I was really impressed by the work put in. But I mean, this was a year when we had we had Amare with her project. I mean, one of the best we've ever had on the continent. Also, I mean, we also had Noso Amadi with when it blooms. I mean, that just overshadowed the album at the time, and understandably so. But I decided to go back and listen to Brew to the World, and oh my gosh, it just blew my mind. Everything that I felt I was missing was right there in front of me. Let me just say number one first. It just hit me that this is the first project he's actually releasing independently. There, from Rule the World and this album, there is a tremendous drop in the quality of the music, just on the production. That's where one of the ways where I felt there were so many things I wasn't really getting out of the music, right? That you can actually suck the juice out. This juice was dry. The orange was a little dry. Now, it was still a little juicy, but there was so much missing. From the production side, there was a big drop there. This album was nowhere close to Rule the World in when we talk about the quality of the album. And because for me, he's one of those artists that I listen to often. Now, I don't listen to the project, but I kind of have an idea of what I should expect from him. And so that was the first thing I noticed, that there was a big drop in the production. in the quality of the music. Number two, the storytelling wasn't so great here. And it made me feel like probably for the first time in his career, and I might be wrong about this, but, or maybe there might be another way to say it, but just for me, what I'm thinking is this is the first time that there isn't a it factor to the project that he has released. I feel like there wasn't someone to hold him accountable in the room. That's just how I feel. Because I'm feeling like with everything that we've known about him, the EPs he has released in the past and the album from last year, the quality of the music, this is not the production. I'm saying just from the songwriting, his delivery, the song selection was just so poor. The songs weren't so good. The songs weren't good at all. And like I mentioned earlier, for me, this felt like he was following the music rather than the music following him. Rather than him walking side by side with the music, I felt like he was chasing the music here. He was chasing the beat. He was chasing everything else. That's how I felt in this project. I felt like he wasn't the main attraction here. That every time I heard a song, it was like it was missing from it. Not like his voice wasn't there, but it felt like something else was missing. Honestly. And it just hit me that, well, am I too harsh on him? Because, or like, but then at the same time, I'm saying there is a standard here that he has set from his past projects, from his past deliveries. There is a Ruger standard for what a project should be. So by Ruger standards, this is absolutely poor. This is ridiculous. From the production to the overall music, the delivery, the songwriting, his ability to communicate to the audience, to the listener in a unique way, all of that just dropped by a significant percentage. And this is not me comparing Ruger to somebody else. This is comparing Ruger to Ruger's own standards. And he doesn't even meet his own standard, just the bare minimum. He doesn't meet any of that. And like I said earlier, I think because he's working independently for the first time, there wasn't anyone in the room to hold him accountable. He would have to figure out a way around that. The thing with working independently is you make all the decisions, fine. Whatever you say goes. But at the same time, there's some times that if you don't have the right people in the room, even with your independence, you are going to drop. Your quality is going to drop. You might not see it, but when people receive your work, and for people who are who pay attention to these things, we're going to see it. We're going to feel it. We're going to hear it. So, I mean, that's kind of like where I am. Independence is fine. I mean, I don't have a problem with that. If artists want to go independent, it's their choice. At the same time, you do the work. You have to do a lot of work. And I think, well, he's going to have to figure his way out. And I'm sure that they as well are going to figure it out real quick that this album is nowhere close to his standards, to the quality he has been putting out for the past 5 years or more. This is nowhere close, man. I don't know how you look at this project overall and you're excited about anything. And let me just even say this next thing as well. Why do you have to release virtually all your songs before the album? The most kind of songs that were really exciting in a way are the songs that we've heard before. So, I mean, and those are the songs that have the most listens so far. So I've heard Toma Toma before with Tiwa Savage. I've heard JJ as well. I think he released JJ a few weeks ago as well. I think Toro was from the Colors from the Colors thing that he did. So I mean, the songs that kind of even were exciting, I think songs that I've heard before. Outside of that, it was so hard to find anything exciting. Maybe I give it to him that he's the introduction into the album, which is titled Reintroduction, was a brilliant way to start. The beat was hard. His delivery was also hard as well. I will give that to him. But outside of that, and that's the thing, after that reintroduction, the energy, the brilliance that is in that reintroduction dropped so much. And I was waiting for it. By track 2, I was like, okay, maybe. By track 3, I was like, maybe. And this is not me saying give me something fast like a banger or something. This is me saying give me something quality here by your own standards. And none of that was present virtually throughout this whole project. As a project as a whole, this was below average. This was below par. By Ruger standards, man, I am so ashamed. Like, this is me covering my face. I was so ashamed. I was like, no way. And a lot of artists are going to have to figure this thing out by themselves. A lot of them that are going independent. I don't want to mention anybody's name right now. I'm going to wait until then to see if they're able to figure it out. But a lot of the artists that are going independent, this is what you're going to have to deal with. Fine, you make all the decisions. At the same time, are your decisions always the best? Are your choices always the best? It's like you writing an essay, for example, right? You give it to other people to read through, to proofread, right? They proofread and they're the ones that are able to tell you, oh, you didn't dot your T's here. There's no comma here. Oh, the paragraph should have been here. And it's not necessarily making a strong overall change to your essay, but it's just a little tweak here and there that makes it more engaging, that makes it more captivating to whoever is going to read it. That's exactly what I mean. If you're going to be doing this by yourself, you would need trusted, let me say that again, trusted proofreaders in the room with you. And for artists that are going independent, and for artists that can afford it, like I think Ruger would be, yeah, you should be able to have people in the room, trusted and tested and trusted proofreaders in the room who can tell you, man, this is not it. By your own standards, this is not it. You cannot surround yourself with yes men. No, you can't do that. It is very obvious that there is a drop in overall quality, delivery, songwriting, dynamic delivery as well, dynamic storytelling. All of that dropped in this project. Everything just dropped in like more than 50% drop in the quality of everything that we know Ruger to be. So, I mean, he's going to have to figure this out some way, one way or another. But this project wasn't it. Blownboy RU, you can do a lot better. This project wasn't it. And this is what makes what we do here special, right? And this is kind of like the criticism I have for just doing this reaction takes. Because if you just give reactions, you're not able to actually think on this thing and go back and listen to his other and refresh your mind with his previous projects and be able to point out what exactly is missing. This reaction takes I've mentioned it here several times. It does a disservice to this artist. We owe them time to listen to their project and actually give them more thoughtful feedback on their work than just listening to it once and the rest of the world is taking your first reaction as gospel. And shout out to everyone who's doing it. And some of them I respect, but in the grand scheme of things, it does a disservice right? In a world where whatever your first reaction is that the world gets to see about someone's music gets to be what stays. No, artists deserve a lot more. Now, even if whatever your first reaction is eventually what you feel overall about a project, fine. But I think they deserve a lot more for the work that they put in. They deserve a lot more time to take in all of that and be sure that just a more. I think we should be more thoughtful. Basically, is how I feel about some of the reviews of the projects by these artists. Okay, who else did I listen to? I don't want us to run out of time before I cover everything. Another artist, Joeboy. Now, Joeboy is one of those artists, came up a few years ago, where very dynamic, very unique as well. I mean, he's impressed really so far. He's done a really good job, and I remember a few years ago, I remember I had such a ridiculous. I mean, my thoughts around the Body and Soul album is, I mean, I don't know, man. It's ridiculous. From 2023, definitely one of my albums of the year. I remember that very clearly, Body and Soul, and I remember some of my thoughts around it. And the podcast hadn't started at the time, 2023. But I remember I was on a space, and one of my major kind of round review of the overall project, like it felt like walking into a donut shop where you haven't tasted the donut, right? But you're just immersed with the smell. There's this aroma, right? From the overall music, from the whole project. There's this consistent aroma throughout the whole project, right? That I got in that album titled Body and Soul. There's this aroma. So there's this consistent aroma, basically, is what I got from that from the album, where even before taking in the meat itself, the donut itself, before he sings anything, I was already sold to the I was already sold on the music even before he sang a note, before he dropped a verse. Every song kind of had that thing to it, that consistent string of a just beautiful smell. Oh my gosh. Body and Soul, one of my favorite albums from 2023. It's not even me. It's not even hidden. Anyone who's been listening to me long enough knows. Those were my initial thoughts about Body and Soul. And it's just so ridiculous that I actually remember the words that I said. And I don't remember some of these things a lot. But that's how much that album, left an impression on me at the time. But then this is what happens with artists who are historically good, like Joeboy is. What happens is you become some sort of role model for so many people, whether they like it or not, because so many your music is so out there and so impressionable on people. So many artists, not even established or upcoming artists, or people who are just trying to find their way in the, and even sometimes more established artists tend to take one thing or two from the artists who are that good, who have been able to leave an impression, strong impression on other people. If you listen to the music long enough, it would rub off on you. And Joeboy is actually that good of an artist, right? I mean, he's had so many just hits and hits from in the past, and not just from like just his own project, but from him being featured on other people's songs as well. He's done really good for himself. Let me just put it that way. But not going too far. His previous album, great. So what happens with this album for me is, while I'm listening to this album, unfortunately, it sounds like how do I put this in the right way? this is like Joeboy sounding like Joeboy in an ocean of Joeboys. Does that make sense? It's like because he has there's so many people right now, a lot of artists that actually sound and deliver like he does, and not because he's copying them, but because he's left a lot of good impression on the industry, that so many songs that I've listened to, if he doesn't step up, he's going to sound like the rest of the field. Does that make sense? If he doesn't become more dynamic, he's going to sound like the rest of the field. That was what this project sounded like to me. If you took out Joeboy's name from this sounds like any other regular artist in the Nigerian music industry put out this project. There was nothing really exceptional about it. There was nothing mesmerizing. There was nothing to catch my attention, right? There was nothing that was impressional. No impression was left to me on me with this album compared to what I got from Body and Soul. And that's the kind of the challenge of being good, of being great, of being really talented, of being good at what you do. If you don't step up your game, people are going to catch up with you and you're just going to be regular all of a sudden. You might feel like, oh, I'm doing me. But then while you're doing you, a whole lot of people have caught up to you and you just sound like everybody else. So this album just sounded like, one Joeboy in an ocean of Joeboys. This could have been released by give a random Nigerian artist. And I'm not even saying established artists. I'm saying those who are in lower tier, who are maybe trying to get. I'm not saying lower tier in the sense of in a like quality or talent. I'm saying those who are still trying to get up there to the level where he is, one of the mainstream established artists, right? Yeah, take out his name from this album, and yeah, this could have been released by any artist in a lower tier, in a lower tier level. You have to step up your game if you are this good. You cannot deliver the same way you've always delivered. And this is also one of, like I mentioned with Ruga, by the last album standard, this is a drop. Not necessarily in the production for him, but generally in the songwriting, in the delivery. This is a drop for him. This is not good enough, man, bro. This is not good enough. If you don't step up, if you don't come up with something, and I'm not saying reinvent the wheel. I'm saying be more creative. Branch out more to more people. If you need to work with others, if you need to bring in songwriters, not just because maybe it's not because maybe you cannot write good music, but because sometimes the difference between a great soup and a regular one might just be extra salt, might just be a little more Maggi here, a little more pepper here, maybe leaving it to cook a little more. Or maybe taking out of turning the fire low. It might be the little things. So having others in the room that you respect as a songwriter might do the work, might do the job for you. I mean, streaming is not where the money is. So who is worried about the splits for streams? It's 0.000. If you do a good project, you can go on tour with your project. That's where the money is anyway. I mean, who's waiting for streams money today? It cannot even be you as a more established artist. Right? So that is it. I think the sauce, something was missing there, man. He has to step up. You cannot keep doing the same. It's like you're a runner. You set a certain record at 10.05 100 meters. Bro, the next time you're coming, you cannot just settle down and say, oh, because I was the fastest the last time. Man, the rest of the field 10.5 is their goal to beat. So if you're coming in with, oh, if I just give 10.5, I should be good, you are going to fuck up. Like, you're setting yourself up to fail. That's exactly what this is. You have to be more dynamic, my bro. That is it. This, maybe 3 years ago, this would have been fine. But I've heard this style of delivery, this style of songwriting, this type of everything. I've heard a lot of them. The industry is filled with this kind of delivery and songwriting, this lazy songwriting and lamba, just dropping lamba. The industry, there are too many of people like that in the industry today. You cannot come as a Joeboy, as one who has set a certain standard in this industry with quality and talent. You cannot come in every time back to back with the same thing. You have to step up and be more dynamic. You go listen to Body and Soul by yourself right now and tell me whether this album meets Body and Soul. Not even better. I'm not saying every album has to be great, but I mean, yes, that should be the goal. But what I'm saying is, you go listen to Body and Soul and tell me if this album, Viva La Viva, meets Body and Soul in any way. Just meets it halfway in any way. And you listen to it and you want to be honest with yourself, it doesn't come close in any way. Viva La Viva doesn't come close in any way compared to this ridiculous work in Body and Soul. I mean, those are my thoughts there, man. It's so easy to see that. For me, it is really, really, really easy to see that. And if you can't, I don't know what to say. And this is me being honest. It's not even me trying to be trying to maybe butter the person up before saying what I want to say. The things I've said in the past are the things I've said. Like, I don't hide those things. How I feel is how I feel, and it's backed by more, in-depth thinking than most 99% of the industry is going to give today. Good luck, though. Good luck. But this album, not going anywhere. The sooner we move away from this, the better. As soon as possible. Like, I don't want to even go into this Body and Soul, but look at this album started with Normally. This Body and Soul started with Normally, followed by Body and Soul. I mean, there's Double Back, there's Contour. According to him, Contour is one of the best songs ever produced ever. Like, there is Chicken Spice and Curry with Ludacris, right? There's Sip Alcohol, there's Slowly. Bro, I mean, we cannot, it's not even close, man. It's not even close. Some of the songs that I didn't even mention, that I personally maybe didn't really enjoy in this project, a lot of them are better. They're a lot better than all the songs that he has on this new Viva La Viva. Something just needs to be done, man. Something needs to be done. We need to tell ourselves the truth. Okay, so we're almost out of time, but I need to hit. Looks like I might not be able to talk about the other thing on the top, but I mean, there are projects out this week, so we need to cover all of them. Another artist that came out with music this week, and this one I didn't even know. I should be ashamed of myself actually saying that out loud, but another artist with a full project out this week is my man Odumodublack, rapper, or I say extraordinaire. This album is titled The Machine Is Coming. 16 songs, 41 minutes and change on this one. And at this point, what I actually got from this project is, I think he has figured out what would actually, let me put it this way. MI, as we all know, has set a standard so high that I'm not sure in my lifetime anyone is going to come close to what he's done in the way he's been able to combine pop and rap, and the way he's been able to deliver like really rap, like just not trying to sound pop or not trying to deliver a pop project. He's been able to do that as well, right? And his success has been his ability to combine both worlds. I mean, the whole album Chairman is a course on how to be successful as a rapper. The album Chairman, every rapper I think should go listen to it. At least how to be successful as a rapper in Nigeria. That's how it is. I mean, there's no other way. We are not a nation that is so engrossed in like rap that we can say you just drop in a rap project will get us excited or will get you all the recognition or will get people talking about you. It's just the way it is. I mean, it's who we are. Rap is not indigenous to us, right? So I can understand why. But MI has done everything from delivering strictly rap projects where he's just bar for bar, verse for verse and things like that. And he's been able to also deliver projects after project. In fact, I would say he's got 3 classic albums that are course on how you succeed as a rapper in Nigeria. From MI to MI2 to Chairman. I think those are 3 classic albums from a rapper. Not too many people have 3 classic albums on their belt, right? And I think with this, Odumodu is following that. This album for me felt more like a pop album than actually a rap album. I'm not gonna lie to you. My man is singing most of the time. And where he features an artist that I think he should allow to take the verse, like to do the singing for him, like the track with Victoni, he actually goes ahead to sing in a track with Victoni, who is a master at that, who can effortlessly deliver your hook, right? Who can take charge of a hook for you. You don't need any, like if he's on a track, just give Victoni the hook and do whatever you want to do. Victoni will take care of the rest when it comes to the melodies and just the things that makes the song sweet. Victoni will take care of the rest. But no Odumodublack. Odumodublack wants to take the hook, wants to take the chorus, and he is the rapper in this combination, in this song, in this duo, in this coming together. He's the rapper. So I think he's figured out that has to be in fact, the only way to do that, to remain in that conversation and to be successful as a rapper, is you being able to successfully combine pop and rap together. That's how you succeed as a rapper in Nigeria. And he's following that process, that framework. And I am in no way going to I'm not going to hold it against him. No, I'm not going to hold it against him. Now, I'm going to say that I'm not fully bought in with him. And now that has nothing to do with his talent or the quality of his music. It's just a personal preference and that I have for his music. And the fact that I'm not really sold on him doesn't mean doesn't diminish the talent. Like, there's so many talented artists around the world that not everybody likes the music. And it's just the way it is. It's not supposed to be that way. Not everybody, as great as Taylor Swift is around the world, and even in Nigeria as well, as great as Ed Sheeran is in Nigeria and around the world, not all Nigerians and not all Europeans or not world people enjoy his music. And it's fine. That doesn't take away from the fact that he's one of the most talented artists in the world, right? So that being said, you get my point. I'm not solely sold, but I get it. I get why folks I get why folks love him. I get the appeal. That's the word. I get the appeal that he has with his fans. I hear it in the music. I get why they like him. The way he says what he says, how he says it, and what he's actually talking about. Sometimes for me, it's more like comedic, funny for me as well. And the thing is, because I've actually heard him rap serious stuff, so I know he can do it if he wants to. I think because his delivery on YP season with Psycho YP, he delivered some verses there that were really heavy. And so I know he can do it. So I think for me, after hearing that, I'm like, well, you could, that is not what's going to get you on the mountaintop for music in Nigeria. You have to be able to combine the two. And I think that's where he is. His fans actually love that. I'm not on the bandwagon of people who say he's not talented as a rapper and things like that. I say, yeah, you guys are full of shit and get the fuck out of the way. Your opinion here doesn't count because you know absolutely nothing. Your knowledge of American rap has absolutely nothing or holds no weight when we are talking about Nigerian rap or rap music in Nigeria. So keep all that knowledge to yourself. Keep talking about all those, American rappers and go be in that conversation. Right here, we're talking about Nigerian rap. So for those people who are of that opinion, I'm like, yeah, shut the fuck up. We don't want to hear what you have to say. Odumodublack, he's one of the most talented rappers we've ever had in this industry. He's very dynamic and he says things that would resonate with most of the people in this country, that he doesn't resonate with the people who are not of this country or who do not understand the culture and the daily, what it means to be living in a country. Those who do not understand it, they don't understand it. It is what it is. Right? It is what it is. If the country was better economically, he would be selling a lot more records and be doing a lot more better than so many of the American rappers out there. So I don't even want to hear that. Not while I'm here with anybody shit on his legacy and what he's about. So I'm not on that bandwagon for sure. But overall, for me, I'm not going back to this project because I don't even know how to take it in right now. Maybe it's going to take me a minute. I probably still have to listen to a few times more, not because not to say maybe the quality or anything, but just for my own personal intake to be like, I think it was just a lot as well to take in. I'm not going to lie to you. It was a lot to take in. But overall, I get what the goal is here. I get it. And I mean, his song with Victoni has 19 million streams just on Spotify alone. So, man, I'm not even going to be like, I don't see the appeal here. I really do see the appeal he has with the fans. What he's saying, how he says it, some of it is so really funny, so funny. So I actually do enjoy his rap as well. Like what he's saying, that's the part that I actually do enjoy. What he's actually talking about, because he says it is in the most just rash way you can actually think of. Nobody actually does that in the industry today. Right? It's like he's got that Terry G vibe to him where he would say what he wants to say in the most ridiculous way, right? And because he's from the South and he's got that flair to him. So, but I really did. It was a good listen, and he's settled in with how he wants to go about this, and I mean he's on the right path because that's the only way you're gonna be a successful rapper. And I'm talking about project wise, like sales, tours, and that's how you're gonna get yourself that's how you're gonna make money, and that's how you're gonna remain relevant and end the conversation, right? And yeah, so I mean I'm not gonna fault him at all. I see the goal, I see the plan, and it's a pretty decent one in my opinion. So I'm not even gonna fault him. Well, the other thing I want to talk about, we'll probably push it till next week. And trust me, at some point, we'll actually get to it. It's something that I have been thinking about for a minute now. And I think I have my thoughts kind of solid and wrapped around it enough that we will talk about it. And trust me, I know nobody else is going to say it. Nobody else is going to talk about it because nobody else is thinking about it. That's what makes the No Stand Zones podcast special. You can be sure. And the things we talk about here are not heard and not spoken and not thought of anywhere else on the continent, in the world. That's how special. You're in a special place. You're getting premium thoughts around and thoughts, reviews, takes around the Nigerian music industry and beyond. Thank you very much for your time, guys. It's always a pleasure to have you here. Don't forget that you can always reach out to me via Twitter is Tiae Sound at Tiae Sound, and also at No Stand Pod on Twitter. If you want to send me an email, is nostandpod@gmail.com. pod@gmail.com. I'm always open to hear from you. And as great as I think some of the thoughts and takes I have here, I always want to hear from you as well. It's not a open and short thing where it's just for me. I want to hear what you think. Although your opinion, your thoughts might be shitty, and I will tell you if they are. I'm just joking. But I also want to hear from you, okay? So don't hesitate to reach out to me at all. Share with family and friends. Share on social media. Please share the link. As well as many people can get to know what we're doing here, what we're building here as possible. The better for us here as a community, and the better it is for the Nigerian music industry as well. There needs to be a space where the stands are shut out from driving conversation and thoughts around music, where it's people who actually care about the music, who know about the music as well, and people who are constantly thinking about the music are the ones that are actually giving their takes and be the drivers of this thing. I think that's the best way it's going to be, right? That's the best way it has to be, right? Where the music is at the forefront and people are more objective conversations are happening. And I'm not saying my take is like the alpha and omega of this whole thing. Like, my take is it cannot be wrong or it cannot be modified or corrected. But if it's coming from a genuine place that is not biased, then we can always modify, change, and get better, right? That's what I think. So thank you very much for your time, guys. It's always a pleasure. We'll be back again, right? So please don't drink and drive. Don't text and drive. And until next week, I remain Tiae. Stay blessed.